My name's Stacy Seabrook, and I approve Eric Jose on Making a Murderer to be able to use my songs on his channel. Thank you. Wisconsin can be so cold. The scales of justice can erode. If we accept lies big and bold, we forget we live on Avery Road. We live on Avery Road. Should be easy to see. This could be you, could be me. We shouldn't sit by idly, accepting everything that we are told. I live on Avery Road. I live on Avery Road. On Avery Road.
Hello there, everybody. Here today doing just a quick little video, kind of just as we're warming up to do the next segments of the MPCR coverage. The next segment is really the biggest one. It's the, ineffective assistance of counsel section, and there's just a lot there, so it took us a little more time to get that prepared. So, as that's kind of gearing up, I thought I'd go ahead and do this video today and show a little some of the fun things, like some of the people that I've got to meet up with recently, that were in the area and reached out to me, and I was able to go see and everything and meet up with. It's awesome. The first one is, Miss Rhonda Parks, who you're going to see, who I, went and met up with at a little restaurant down in the area here. And, we met up and she comes out and everything. And so her husband comes out, and it was pretty funny because, her husband at first is walking up and he's, reaching out, shaking my hand. He's kind of looking me up, sizing me up, looking at me, like trying to, determine whether or not I'm, some, weirdo or something. So it was pretty funny. But anyway, I understood and everything. I was just like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. How you doing? And all that. And so we all chatted for a little while, and they told me about where they're from and big dog that they have, that they were, that they had to actually put in like a kennel when they came down from Michigan, because that's where they came from. So, and anyway, it was a lot of fun. Got to sit there, hang out with them for it was around about 45 minutes to an hour. And during that 45 minutes to an hour, I was able to do a little video with Rhonda, and it was this is what I always want to do whenever I meet up with supporters. Obviously, is whenever possible to get out my little GoPro and do a little video where we talk a little bit about the case or supporting or just whatever, just so that I can kind of show off the people that are supporting in Brendan and Steven, whenever I can. So love it when I get these opportunities. So go ahead and show you here the little clip that I made with Rhonda Parks Johnson. Hello everybody, how are you? We're here today with one of our supporters here, Rhonda. And she just reached out to me. She's in town here where I am. I'm not going to get too specific about where that is, but she reached out, and so I came down to see her. We're down at a local bar here playing trivia, and so I wanted to give her a chance to voice some of her outrage about the case.
I myself, I've said it all outrages me. Yeah, it all pisses me off, really. I hate that it's taken so long for them to get free. I feel like it's obvious the state of Wisconsin did them wrong, and I just hope they'll learn. Hopefully 2019 is a good year for Steven and Brittany. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the lovely Miss Rhonda Parks Johnson. Her and her husband were down from Michigan, and they were both great. They were awesome. Got to speak with her and her husband for, like I said, it was about an hour, and very pleasant people. Like I said at first, there was some concern about meeting people through the internet, which is smart. So, I like to think that I'm getting involved with smart people who are conscious of that sort of thing and who are trying to take precautions, obviously. So that's good. And so, so it was just funny, though. I did love it when he came out and he was shaking my hand, and I can tell he was just like looking me over like he was looking for anything out of place or something. It was funny. But I guess there was nothing out of place because we all ended up having a friendly chat, and then you saw the clip that Rhonda and I just did about Steven, or for Steven and Brendan, about Steven and Brendan, however you want to look at it. So that was a lot of fun, and I hope to continue to meet more and more supporters like this, hopefully, as I'm traveling around. It will be awesome. Then that brings us to kind of now, I have also one other supporter that I met up with today, but before we get to that, I wanted to bring up Miss Susan Lee Sexton again. Obviously, those of you who don't know who she is, she's been doing some really brilliant artwork, political style cartoon work for me, and she has just been nailing it. And last night she sent me something that was just absolutely just absolutely stellar. It was just, it just nailed my, I'm not even going to say, I'm just going to say it nailed the two people featured in the drawing just to a T, and just very well done, very, very witty. And so anyways, I'm going to show you first the one she just did 3-4 days ago for me, which was the basically agents of the state cowering behind the Halbach family skirts, basically, as it were. So I'll show you that one first, and then I'll show you her newest one, and we'll see what you guys think. Okay, so just to remind everybody, this is something Susan made. I put it in a video just a couple days ago. This is supposed to be basically like the Halbach family, basically here. And these are agents of the state of Wisconsin hiding behind it, cowardly even in their way that they're hiding. So this was something I had Miss Susan create for me, and she really just knocked it out of the park. Really got it, nailed it, got it, even the cows on the skirt, the cow imprint, the cow, imprints or whatever on there. Just really, really cool detail. The H on the belt buckle, just very, very well done. And then without even, we had just been discussing a couple of other ideas. And this other idea was something we had talked about, like what we could do. And, I had basically, when you see it, you're going to say, I basically had suggested that there be a voice bubble coming from off screen, suggesting that the gentleman in the picture switch brands. And Susan took it a step further and really just brought it home in a way that was just amazing. And so that you can see what that is, here it is. So this is what she created. It's just absolutely brilliant. This is obviously somebody you might recognize. This here, obviously, as well, somebody you might recognize, right? This guy here. He's got a little apron on. These cans here say Blue Ribbon there. And what is it that the person's saying from? Hey, Mike, don't you think it's time to switch brands? Because it seems like Mike is still drinking, you know, that Pabst Blue Ribbon, maybe, even though those blue ribbons always remind him and make him cry. So, anyways, this is obviously meant to, you know, point out how ridiculous Michael O'Kelly was when he was getting called on being, you know, a dirty kind of, you know, for having coerced Brendan essentially into confessing and acting basically as an agent of the state in a sense, and all he does is start crying and losing his composure, talking about, I'm sorry, all I can think about is those blue ribbons. Basically, once again, somebody's trying to hide behind the hall box again. Somebody in this case, when the facts are coming out against them, they're suddenly wanting to hide behind the hall box, and that's exactly what Michael O'Kelly did by you know, losing his composure and saying he couldn't stop thinking about the blue ribbons. So that's just my honest opinion about Michael O'Kelly. The guy's a piece of work, and that's, you know, enough said. Alrighty, so how awesome is Susan? I mean, Miss Susan Sexton right now is just absolutely just knocking it out of the park. We only just briefly talked about that second one, and like, I gave her that one idea about the voice bubble, and like most of the rest of it was pretty much her own kind of idea and everything. I threw in the idea about the voice bubble, and she even took that and took it a step further. I mean, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So Miss Susan Sexton, you know, bravo. Very, very well done. Very well done. Absolutely well done. Supporter that I'm very happy to show off, because she's doing absolutely awesome artwork over there, and it's like I'm able to give her an idea and she like just nails it. I mean, I would almost say that like almost literally what's in my mind when I think of it almost always ends up right on that paper. But she does have some artistic license, and like I said, she was brilliant with what she did with Kaczynski in the kitchen there, and having him being the one say, you know, suggest to Mike that he needs to switch brands. I mean, inspired, absolutely inspired, Susan. So great job, Susan. Absolutely great job. Next, I'm going to be able to show off something new here, folks. Something new. That's a new sign of the international support here. Always love to be able to show that off. Always love to be able to, for people to watch in my videos, to see those symbols of international support behind me as I'm talking and as I'm you know, going over things. So what I have today is a brand new piece of embroidering that was given to me by Miss Julie Pom Pom Parker, and so here's what it is right here to show you up close. Hello everybody. So I got a new gift from a supporter here. This is another symbol of international support, and as you can see, it's Arakose, and the O is made with the Canadian maple leaf. This was made to me by Julie Pom Pom Parker. Some of you may know from Discord. So this was just another thing, a little gift I got today that was brilliant, and you'll get to see Julie in the video today. It sits on the wall right by the Skies flag sent to me by Paul, and the monkeys hanging from some of the piping there. So, and right above the Beatles Abbey Road. So anyways, just wanted to point that out, the new symbol of international support today, and on we go. All right, now, okay, so that's, you know, where I got, obviously, you know, so when I was getting this here today, right, I got to see Miss Julie Pom Pom Parker. We got to sit down and eat a little bit and everything, and we were talking, and so we recorded a little segment where we were talking a little about the case and a little bit about what she's doing personally in her life and some things she's doing, and you know, we were talking about Brendan and talked about some of the subjects of the case, talked about the bones and Zellner's recent motion, that sort of stuff. So I will just say, I'm going to play that clip now, but I will just say we were in like a restaurant basically, so you guys will hear some various background noise at some points that kind of is a little bit distracting. I am sorry, but most of the time it's fairly mellow, and you can hear us pretty well. We come in pretty clear over the din there anyway. So anyways, should be hopefully very understandable. I've reviewed it and it seems minimal to me, but hopefully you guys won't be, you know, too annoyed by some of that background noise. Anyways, here we go. We're going to be talking to the audience.
Talking to them. Right? All right, got it.
Hello everybody, how you doing? We're here today meeting up with Julie Pom Pom Parker here, another person who reached out to me when they were in the area, local. So we were able to meet up today and have a little chat and had a little lunch and got to talk about the case a little bit. So we decided to go ahead and have a little chat on camera and talk, you know, about her as a supporter and some of the things that really concern her about this case, and some of the things she's doing in her personal life that may be of interest. For instance, she's going, you know, back to school and getting her your accounting degree, right?
Yeah, I'm working on my accounting degree right now.
And then she's also potentially looking to go back to go to law school and stuff. So I want to go ahead and give her a chance to speak about her and why she supports and some of the things she's doing in her life. So go ahead, Julie.
So I was actually talking to Travis about how I was going to school to get my law degree, or I'm sorry, my accounting degree. And he is the one who encouraged me to go back to my childhood dream of getting my law degree and going into business law. So that's what I'm working on right now. Still working on the accounting part, but he motivated me to get back into that, and I had sort of strayed from that for a while, but with his suggestion and working on this case too, it's motivated me to get back into that.
But you know, the funny thing is, though, if you're looking to go into business law, is that just recently I was watching a video that talked about the fact that Lauren Highrider had no intention of going into criminal law or juvenile law or anything. She really was looking for the business law class one day and walked into Stephen Drizzen's classroom, and then the rest was history. That was it. She became a criminal defense attorney and now helps, you know, the wrongly convicted juveniles in our system. So I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. That's pretty cool.
So it's funny, you know. We'll have to see what happens to you, of course, right? You know?
Right. I don't know if I will end up with
Somebody
a mentor
like
that is so amazing,
like
but yeah, you never know. But Brendan, I'm really glad she did that, because Brendan's really lucky to have them.
Well, that's just
on
it,
his
right?
team. Yeah.
She probably got into it, and then Brendan happened, and then now she's in. She's all in, right?
And he's very lucky to have her. So I'm glad that she did that for him.
Right. And we were just talking about how, when it comes to Brendan's case, like some of the ridiculous things, like for instance, so we were talking about the fact that Tom Fassbender makes the statement of, "I don't assess IQs," which is just ridiculous on its face, because he's an investigator and his job is to sum people up. So it's just ridiculous that he would even ever say that. So we were just talking about that. What are your thoughts about that?
I completely agree. When it's your job to get an impression about people and to analyze their behavior and the way they talk and their body movements and eye contact and things like that, that's their job. That's what they're trained to do. So the fact that he says he's not trained to assess IQs, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You can tell, I'm not trained to assess IQs either, and I can tell by watching him that is not somebody who understands what you're doing to him.
Anybody
right
with a half a brain sits there and watches Brendan flounder through that entire thing.
Exactly.
He doesn't look like he knows what's going on. None of the things that he offers makes Brendan really look credible. He just happens to hit the right fact points for the investigators when they're suggesting those.
It's because the investigators gave those to him.
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
And so for Tom Fassbender to say, I don't think we suggested it to Brendan. Well, go back and watch it again, Tom, because pretty much anything that he says, you guys suggested it to him before. Maybe not right before. Maybe it was 5 questions back, 10 questions back. Maybe it was the day before that you planted the seed. But it's always been where you guys have actually said something before he actually said it, and that creates the problem because you can't really corroborate any of this crap. So
exactly, and they've developed a pattern with him that Brendan knows that if he gives them the answer that they're looking for, they're going to leave it alone and they're going to move on. And because they've already put into his head which answer they're looking for, after a while, he learns what he's supposed to say to them,
right,
so that they'll stop and leave it alone.
Mental conditioning.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it infuriates me. I want to pound on the table, but I don't want to pound on the table.
Right? You see the camera go kind of like, no, I'm just kidding. And then obviously to finish up, we'll talk a little bit about them bones, right? The bones that Zellner wanted to test, right?
Yes.
She wanted to test. And then as you know, here on my channel, we broke the news pretty much first. With the fact that those bones have been given back to the Hallback family already. So this is going to get interesting. And now we have Zellner filing saying exactly that these bones were given back to the Hallback family. Stephen and his attorneys were not informed about it at the time. And it's biological evidence, so there is a statute that protects it. And so this is, I think, going to get quite interesting. We're still waiting for the decision from the appeals court, obviously, on whether or not they're going to grant the remand and stay, so that this can go back to the district court, and the district court can figure out what went down with these bones, and whether or not an evidentiary hearing needs to happen there, or the Court of Appeals can absolutely just say, yes, it's going back. We want an evidentiary hearing, and they can just spell it out what they want to happen. They could effectively tie, Judge Sukowitz's hands potentially into doing an evidentiary hearing. So it would be interesting. That could be a possibility if they grant it. Not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility, and it would be interesting if it did. So obviously, any thoughts on the bones?
I'm actually, my favorite thing about this happening with the bones is that a lot of people have said to me when I've talked to them about the fact that I am involved in this and I'm part of a group of people who are looking into this and doing all of this research, is that this exactly right here shows that we are all actually making a difference in this case. And so many people have said to me, why are you even bothering? He's got a lawyer, she's going to do whatever she's going to do, and you're not actually going to make a difference. Well, that all of those people have been proven wrong now, because she got that information from somebody who is out here on the outside doing this research, looking at all this paperwork, and found it and gave it to her. And that motivates me to keep looking and not to get discouraged, because we are making a difference and we can help them.
Not to mention the collective heat of this many people paying attention, and the heat and the pressure that it continues to exert on that cell of people that are sticking together, that are keeping this afloat. Everybody's attention continues to put more pressure, more spotlight, more white hot spotlight on this, and that pressure is what eventually is going to make something pop. It's going to eventually make something blow. So remember, you may not be Kathleen Zellner, you may not be in court filing these things, you may not be the big person whose name's getting mentioned all the time in Newsweek and stuff, but we all matter, and the fact that we're all paying attention, it gives Zellner more power. It gives her more ability to do this, because people are taking her seriously, because they know so many people are listening to her and are and agree with her and all that stuff. So it gives her more. It just adds to her, to the support of her, and to just the fact that many people are in agreement with her and paying attention to everything that she says is something that these people have to consider, because she's coming after them. Yes. And and those of us who have studied her, she is a bulldog. She will lock on. She's like a pit bull. She's gonna lock on with lockjaw, and she is gonna just continue to shred you until you're done. Right? I mean, that's what she's gonna do. She doesn't tolerate bullies. She never has. And then one other thing that we might talk about, I guess, real quick, is the fact that we all know that if Zellner thought Stephen was guilty, that she will not help him.
Exactly.
And there's proof of that because she did not help Larry Eiler. She actually, instead of helping him, basically just made the deal with him for him to tell his story so that when he died, she was able to explain to all the families of his victims and stuff what had happened and help give all of them closure. But she did not get him out.
Right.
It was against her morals to do so. And if she ever believes that Stephen's guilty, she will not get him out.
Right.
So that's something that people out there can consider and think about. If Stephen is guilty and she figures it out, he's going to sit where he is. But I don't think that's happened yet because she just keeps uncovering more stuff. We now see the state hiding more stuff, more documents. So it goes on and on. It continues to point at Stephen's innocence and not away from, and not at Stephen. It keep, you know, like she said in a tweet recently, it continues to point away from Stephen, not at him.
I was just thinking about what she said in her response or her reply to the state's response to her last filing, where she was saying, gosh, I wish I could remember the wording. I should have had it pulled up on my phone. Where she said something along the lines of, "How is he supposed to do this when the state keeps hiding evidence? And we have to go look. They keep messing up.
Right.
Like, how are we supposed to follow anything when they keep messing up?"
Yeah.
I wish I would have known the exact quote because that would have been great. But when you were talking about that, it made me think about that.
Yeah.
That was her last filing was fantastic.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
It was wonderful.
Just the use of the word disingenuous made it worth it. But anyways, all right, folks, that's it for me and Julie. We'll see ya. All right, so Julie and I finally got to meet up. We've been trying to meet up like this for about 2 months now, a little over 2 months now. It's just we kept not being able to and everything. And so anyways, finally got around to today where we just had the opening. She was kind of nearby to where I could get, somewhere nearby and everything. So we were able to stop off in the little restaurant there and hang out for a bit. So it was very fun. I look forward to doing this with other supporters here in the future. I hope to be, traveling a bit more around like the U.S. and possibly even more, possibly even beyond that. So hopefully I'll be able to get to meet up with lots of different supporters, that I can sit down with, have a chat with, do a little video with, discussing the case kind of thing, so that I can continue to show off, all of the people that are supporting Stephen and Brendan, and just because I love doing it. The fact that everybody that people take an interest in this and aren't, decide not to be all wrapped up in their own lives and to spend a little time taking an interest in this. I just think that's great. And so, she was so kind as to make the little symbol there for the Canadian international support and everything. So it was just great to get to talk with her and be able to, and like I said, moving forward, I hope to be able to show off as many supporters in this way as I can. Anyways, that's pretty much about it for today. I'm going to go ahead and lead us out on a Stacy song, and we'll see you guys next time. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe.
So let's keep talking about Avery. Yeah, let's keep talking till he's set free. Oh, you just listen, I think you'll see why it matters. Oh, really matters. Put aside the documentary, the state's version ludicrosity. Oh, all their claims so blatantly get torn to tatters. I think that matters. I bet you heard about Hood Lad sweating, but maybe you ain't heard this yet. 19 more times the DNA that was left anywhere else that day. I think that matters. I really do, I think it matters. An ex-boyfriend with a day planner page, and yet they did not investigate. And who knows why, and who can say why he was signed into the crime scene that day. I think that matters. I really do, I think it matters. About the barrel that once was seized, but then returned to the Averys. The bones were found the next day, but not one photograph exists of where they lay. I think that matters. I really do, I think it matters. I could go on listing things off, 80 more things. I just keep on singing these songs till every freedom rings. I said it matters. It really, I know it matters. It could be you, I think it matters. It could be me, I know it matters. Work with KZ, it matters. I said it matters. It really matters.